Hello everyone, this is Crustalmania and welcome back to another video. So this is going to be the second card from TCG Player that I bought out of 10 cards. And this card as well was part of that original eBay lot that I was looking at. So basically, if I didn't mention in the first video, I basically rebought all the same cards that I saw on eBay in that one lot from that seller on TCG Player to see like what the difference was in terms of price and just like what condition I would get. So the eBay original listing was heavy played and moderately and heavy played cards, about 9 of them, but the price of it was over $100. And I was like, man, that's pretty crazy, because when I added up all the prices for these cards on TCG Player, it was at least half the value of what it was on TCG Player. Even with shipping and taxes, it was half the value than what I was paying for on eBay. So I figured, why not give it a shot? So this is the second card. This is more of what I imagined a TCG Player card to be delivered in. Luckily, I don't think this card was in great condition, because the damage card was the Hitmonchan, so that was the only one. So the rest of them are all in heavy play conditions. So conditioning wise, it's not that big a deal. But if this was a near mint card, I'm not exactly sure how I'd feel about this card being delivered this way. But I mean, it's as long as the card doesn't get damaged, that's fine. It's just the envelope just got pretty beat up through the USPS system, which is normal. It's just if you're paying a lot for shipping for a near mint card when the card is more expensive, especially if this like vintage card was probably closer to LP to near mint, I don't know how I'd feel about packaging quite like this. But anyways, I decided to open this envelope, and there was a packing slip inside of this envelope, so I will probably open that up off screen. But I did struggle a little bit opening this envelope because I didn't even realize that the packing slip was in there. So yeah, that was definitely something I noticed a lot more with TCG Player card orders, is that they do have the packing slips in there. A lot of the sellers on eBay, I don't see packing slips included in with the cards, but on TCG Player, from the Hitmonchan and this one now, at least that's 2 out of 2 so far that I've done packing slips in the envelope. So very interesting there. I thought I'd see that a little bit more on eBay, just because on eBay you're paying a little bit more sometimes for shipping and you see the pictures. But it's interesting how so far the TCG Player packing slip has been a more relevant thing than eBay. But anyways, the card was attached to the paper, kind of like how I package my cards. So I had to take that off screen to kind of get it off of the paper, just because it was a little bit easier for me to take the top loader off the paper off screen. There was tape on there. One thing I did notice about TCG Player is they do put regular Scotch tape on some of these sellers on the top loaders, on the top themselves, which is a bit tough to take off, because I did have to use my box cutter to get the tape off. That's probably like my only complaint for packaging so far on TCG Player, is just some of the sellers use regular Scotch tape. But this is a heavy played Kangaskhan base set card from Jungle, I believe. And this is a really cool card. Kangaskhan is not the most sought after holo, but it's just like a really cool holo. I'm really glad that Kangaskhan got one, and it's just kind of a more iconic Pokemon. And this is the card in its full kind of glory, as you can see. Really like the hollowing pattern, as I mentioned in these old vintage cards. The back has some whitening and some obvious scratches a little bit, but more or less like just the whitening of it. And then on the hollow foil there's scratches, but for the most part, again, heavy play card, other than the edges showing some aluminum. Very clean for what I thought. I thought these things were going to be like trampled, bent. Like, no, it's just literally edge wear and hollow scratches. That's about it. I'm like, wow, this is a pretty clean for what it is in terms of like an actual card. So to my surprise, like these cards in heavy played from TCG player condition, not too bad actually for the price of the cards. I have to say, like, if I was buying the same thing on eBay, I'm pretty sure I'd be charged double the price, because even with the shipping cost, it would be, the sellers would probably ask for double the price to make their money back. So very cool card here, Jungle, Kangaskhan, hollow foil, and very clean for a heavy played card. I'm really impressed. The back looks pretty good, other than like the whitening. Like there's not a whole lot of scratches, maybe a couple here and there. Most of the scratches are on the hollow foil in the front, but overall, as I said, this is a really clean card for a heavy played card. Like I was very surprised by how well the cards looked for the condition that I purchased in. So anyways, I will say is this is more of what I expected for the traditional TCG player packaging. The Scotch tape is kind of tough to open when you do have the Scotch tape over the top of the top loader. That is probably my only complaint with this one so far. But other than that, the card's in great condition. For the price of what it was, really great. I mean, man, heavy play cards, not bad if you just want to have the card in your collection and you don't want to pay lightly played, moderately played prices. Unless you want gem near mint, go ahead, but if you just want the card, not bad. So this is also going to be part of my kind of experiment, but this is card 2 of 10 of cards I picked up on TCG Player, so not bad so far. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.